Hello students, in previous class we discussed about what enabled England to be a industrialized country or workshop of the world, and those points were: the first one, political stability; next, agricultural revolution; third one, towns, trade and finance. Today we are going to discuss about colonies, the fourth factor which made the England as to develop like a workshop of the world. Fourth one is colonies, extensive colonies. Around 18th century, British extended its stretched its hands towards the different countries like North America, India, Africa and some other countries as its colonies. These extensive colonies made it to grow well due to supply of raw materials. Those colonies are the best places for the England, Britain to get the raw material. For example, from India they used to collect by exploiting Indian people, that is cotton and indigo and different food grains. After taking there, those supplied raw material, they used to make it with the help of technology. They used to make it as a final product and again come to here, provided market again. They used to use these colonial places as their marketplace also. They used to send it again back with a higher rate of price, those goods whichever were produced by them. So even these colonies are best market places for England. Then the next factor is conclusion part. Factors are over, now the conclusion part, preconditions. What made Britain to develop in such a way? Those preconditions were: first one, concentration of wealth. So historical background. If the country is wealthy and able to invest money either to develop technology or to give salaries to the wage holders, job seekers, the country must be wealthy. So first precondition to be a developed country, otherwise to industrialized country, concentration of wealth. Second one, availability of workers. In England, when the technology is developed, when the establishment of industries and factories have taken place, even from villages also people migrated to cities, and many cities started growing and people joined in different kind of factories and industries so that they can live their life. Third one, large market. As already we have discussed here, large market which was provided by the colonies, and the extended colonies by the England is one of the plus point for them to maintain the large market for their production. Then fourth one, needs cheap raw material. As the colonies, India is the best example how they used to exploit us to get the raw material in a very cheap rate. Then fifth one, good transport. The most important thing is transport. As already we have discussed, England is very fortunate, enough fortunate to have inland drainage system and many port cities and coastal areas which enabled them for a good transportation, and they can send very cheap and very fast. They can transport very cheap and very fast to any country, either to their colonial countries or to any other countries. Apart from these five preconditions, one more very important thing is technology, development of technology, and where when they started developing the technology by inventing different kind of machines, machineries like steam engine, as I have written on the board that day in the mind mapping, that steam engine and steam machines, steam power, which used them to go forward and made them to call as the workshop of the world. The next part of the lesson, the technological development. How technologically they developed and what is the use of that, how it made possible to industrialization. That is the first one, coal. Second one, iron. Third one, weaving. Fourth one, transportation. Now let us discuss first both coal and iron. How abundant natural resources coal and iron is there in England, how they made use of it. Iron is very important for manufacturing thing. After smelting the raw material and they extract the iron and they will use different kind of furnitures and equipments and different kind of things from the iron. Whereas coal is essential. In those days, coal is one of the basic good where they used for smelting the iron with the help of coal. Sometimes the coal, it was very fragile. Different kind of coals are also there. One kind of coal particularly which is fragile and it is very difficult during the time of transportation from one place to another place. Second thing, it used to take much time for smelting the iron. Even though second use of that was, this is first one, coal which is essential, iron which is very important. With both of that only we can make any kind of goods or any kind of equipments, machineries. Second one, England was fortunate that coal and iron availability is more in that place, as its natural resources, coal and iron, and even iron also different kind of iron is there, and there it smelting of time is different and use of that iron is different. So all those things made possible. Anyhow, along with iron they have copper and different kind of materials which made them possible for industrialization. Next thing is shortage of iron. Just now I said abundant of iron and coal is there. That is a very fortunate country which have the natural resources abundantly. But now I have written that shortage of iron. Shortage of iron, exactly that is not as it is not available there. Why shortage is there? And just now I have said coal which usually take much time for smelting of iron, and the time is not sufficient for producing more and more iron, and due to the more time taken by more time for smelting, the shortage of iron was created. So to curb this shortage or to solve the problem, there we have to discuss one more point, that is the fourth one, Darby's family. Darby's family. What they did, it is called iron family. To curb the problem of shortage of iron, they invented blast furnace and which made easy for smelting of iron. Let us see what they did. The first Darby, who is called as Abraham Darby, and from 1677 to 1770 he invented a blast furnace. second Derby from 1711 to 1768 developed wrought iron. This is one kind of iron, and while smelting, different kind of iron is going to be extracted. One kind of iron which is called wrought iron, and the different another kind of iron which is called pig iron. Like that, different irons are there, and those are useful for different things. But it was developed during the time of Second Derby from 1711 to 1768. Then third, Henry, his name was Henry Court, 1742 1823. He designed the puddling furnace. So now come here to curb the shortage of iron, as large part of coal was used to smelting of this iron. So to solve the problem of this smelting and more use of coal, to use more use of coal for smelting the iron, again deforestation. They used to cut the forest frequently, as that is very difficult for the environment and different kind of uses. So to curb the problem, Darby's family, and to whom well noted, that family is well noted as iron family also. The first Darby, and who is called as Abraham Darby, from 1677 to 1717 invented a blast furnace. Second Darby, who developed wrought iron and the use of wrought iron and smelting of wrought iron easily. Third, Henry Court, who designed the puddling furnace, and these two furnaces are different process of using or smelting iron easily to extract the iron easily. Let us continue the class in next one.